glide. On the big glide. Yes, let's go. Alright guys, so I went on Aliexpress and I bought 3 different glide bait. So I got a tiny klash knockoff with multiple tails, got the lip. Actually I got 2 tiny klash knockoffs. So this one's floating, this one's sinking. I bought a bluegill glide bait. This is what I have tied on at the moment. And then I also bought this giant one. So look at this big one. So I'm going to test these out. These came from China. They were dirt cheap. You won't believe how much I paid for these. I think the most expensive one was $7. So let's see if we can catch some fish on these, and if they're worth the money. You may be saving a lot of bucks on glide baits. To start it off, we're going to be using the knockoff tiny klash. So this comes with a lip and 4 tails. So the removable lip makes it to where you can switch between a cranking style or a glide style. Now the one we have tied on is the floating version. So this is a knockoff of the tiny klash, but for the price, we'll see how it is. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. So this is the floating version. It stays at the surface pretty well. Now when you're retrieving it, it does dive about 1 to 3 inches down, but giving it that good wake on the top of the surface. So I'd still consider this a top water. Now when you add the lip, you can get it to dive down a lot further. It's more like a cranking style swim bait at that point when you add the lip. Now we had the weight transfer tail on. This is considered the glide mode if we were using a real tiny klash. And this glide bait, you don't work it with the reel as much. You have to use it more like a jerk bait or a twitch bait. So you're going to use the rod tip to make this lure jerk around. It's not from the reel. So this one doesn't swim side to side on its own. You kind of have to give it the action. But to me, this lure swims great. And with the lip and multiple tails, you can change up the function and style of it to however suited for your day. We got waked on. Got one. Got one. We got one on the glide bait. Yes. Sweet. On the Aliexpress glide bait. Check that out. Alright, so I just got this one on the Aliexpress glide bait. Check that out. All right, now let's try another glide bait and see if we can't catch another fish. That's one down. There we go. Look at the size difference. That's not a giant fish, but that is a pretty big bait. All right, so now we've caught one on the tiny klash knockoff. Do we pick between the bluegill or the big glide? Let's throw the big glide for a second and just see how it looks. See how this one swims. Wow. For something that came from Aliexpress, that swims great. Alright guys, so this glide bait's going to come in at 7 inches long, 2.8 ounces, and a whopping $5.39. So for the price, this lure is incredible. It has a great S-Wave. It swims side to side, perfect on a steady retrieve. You can also give it those twitches in the reel to make it turn almost a full 180. Incredible. Incredible. For something that cost me like $3? That is crazy. This lure does really well on just a straight, steady retrieve. It walks side to side over a foot each direction, left to right. The only downfall I had with this lure is it is slow sinking and I'm fishing a shallow lake, so I had to keep that rod tip high or I would get caught in the grass. Yeah, I had to keep the rod tip up because this one sinks a little bit faster, and this is a really shallow grassy lake. Got one on the big glide. On the big glide. Yeah. Yes, let's go. On the big glide. Let's freaking go. On the freaking giant glide bait. Oh, yes. Let's go. On the giant glide bait from Aliexpress. Look at that. Check it out. We caught one on the giant glide bait. I can't believe it. Look at that. All right, so check this out. Now we are throwing the bluegill glide bait. So check out how this one swims. It's got a really tight wobble compared to the other glide baits, but when you pause it or twitch it, it still does the side to side glide, just not very far. See, we can walk it side to side. Straight retrieve. Look at that. The bluegill glide bait is going to come in at $3.49. This is a 4.5 inch long lure. It's going to come in at 1.2 ounces. So this one suspends really well, very slow sinking with a tight wobble. I really like this lure. Got him. Oh, yes. We have caught one on every glide bait that came from Aliexpress. This is the smallest of the day by far. Every glide bait that I bought from Aliexpress, I've caught a fish on today. I think I can catch more with this one. I'm gonna keep throwing it. On the bluegill glide bait, a little tiny bass. Go! Got him. Good one. Good one. On the bluegill. Yes. Yes, son. Yes. Woo. So check this out. We got this one on the bluegill glide bait. This is a stud. Not super big, probably a little over 3.5 pounds. Check that out. Check that dude out. Awesome. On the bluegill.